This is the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe High Country. Will it meet all of your needs? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. You're going to find everything I think you're looking for as far as your next vehicle goes here. As far as seeing after dark, everything is going to be LED. I'm going to hit the button here to let you see these locator lights. That's that animated effect you see going from here all the way up here. We're going to do that one more time just so you can see it. But you're going to have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED turn signal indicators are also going to be here. So it's all here, a nice large front end that definitely gives it that aggressive look. We're going to have our front view camera right here. When you see that, you know there's going to be cameras all around the vehicle. So they're everywhere. It's also four-wheel drive. Now we will have a combination of different finishes here between the chrome and some gloss finish until we reach down here at the lower area where you have a matte finish, where it really counts the most because that's going to be where you're going to get the most rocks, debris, all that stuff coming up and hitting that area. That doesn't show damage the same way. And also LED fog lights. Hopefully you saw that in the shot right there. Now, like I said, for those of you that need help in those low traction situations, unlike us in the South, you get a lot of snow and ice throughout the year. Glad we don't. Four-wheel drive is here. We're going to have our 22-inch wheels. You will also find a spare tire located underneath the rear of the vehicle back there, so that's going to be useful for you. Hopefully you never need it, but it's there if you do. High Country logo is going to be here. Everything you want with your side view mirrors is going to be here. Turn signal indicators are built in. They're heated, they're power adjustable, they have blind spot monitoring, and they're also going to be power folding. So there are all of the check boxes that are indeed checked for you. Here is your remote with lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate. You can also pop the glass open on that rear door back there. And if the battery on your remote, or your key fob as some people call it, happens to die, here's your mechanical key that is located inside of the remote. That's going to go right here in the event that you need that. You can still lock and unlock the vehicle. We're also going to have passive entry on the front doors and the rear doors. I really like that. That's always a good thing. Now, you don't have the power assist steps here. I don't think that's too big of a deal for most people, but you do have the assist steps for those that may need a little bit of help getting in and out. It just makes it a little bit easier that way to hop up on there and then go ahead and get inside. Up top, we have the roof rails. You can get your crossbars and increase your cargo space as if there isn't already enough here. Nice large windows. It's super easy to see out of. I like that. You've got your rear privacy glass for your passengers in the second and the third row back here. And then, as we work our way to the rear, once again, LED lighting. Let me hit the button here so you can see everything in action as far as your locator lights go. That looks pretty dim during the day, but after dark, you might be surprised at how bright that actually is. Now, you don't see the rear window wiper here, but it's here. It's just neatly concealed away inside of the roof spoiler, the rear roof spoiler, as it's known. And then I'm going to show you something here real fast. I'm going to hit that button to pop the glass open so you can see how that works. That way, it's just super easy to reach in, get whatever you need to, put things in, take things out. All of that's going to be here. Work our way down. You're going to have your exposed exhaust outlets. For those of you that that's a big deal for, which I can't blame you for that, it's not hidden away the way we see on so many vehicles in this day and age. Under the hood of this particular model is going to be the naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8, 420 horsepower, 460 pounds-feet of torque. It's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 about 6 seconds flat. Top speed around 120 miles per hour. People ask about it, so I give those details. And here's something else people ask about. They like to see the window sticker. I can't always show that to you, but in today's situation, it's easy to see. Sometimes the glare prevents that. How about your MPGs? You can see them right here. 14 city, 18 highway, 16 combined, and 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And with such a large engine under the hood and such a large SUV with the aerodynamics of a brick for the most part, you better have a large fuel tank. And you do. 24 gallons in capacity. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 336 miles in the city. That number will jump to 432 miles out on the highway. Your towing capacity comes in at 8,000 pounds, so you can definitely tow the large boat, different things along those lines. You're not going to have any trouble with that. And your cargo space, depending on how you set things up, is going to range between 25.5 up to 122.7 cubic feet. Now you'll find all your tools to change the tire if you need to right underneath here. That tire is located underneath the rear, as I mentioned earlier. And then we have our controls right here. Now there is a difference between these and these. These are for your rear seats. I'm gonna hit that, see if I can get that to go down for us. There they go. Sometimes they go all the way down, sometimes they don't. Depends on what happens with the middle seats, but we'll let that go all the way down like that. Here's the difference. With the rear seats, I can bring those back up. That's why it has that up arrow. The middle seats, you will have to manually bring back up. So we bring that back up just like this. You also have to hold the button down. That's one thing I would like to see Chevrolet change in the future. Notice how they stopped. If you don't hold the buttons down, it's just going to stop right where you let go of the button. And you're also going to have your power outlet right here in case you need to power something in this rear area. Let's talk about what your passengers are going to find in the second and third row. First of all, the panoramic sunroof. We couldn't really show that to you earlier in the video, but there it is. That front portion will tilt and slide open. You do have the power shade that can be drawn all the way forward to conceal that away if needed. Now, how about your door bin and armrest area right here with the door panel? That armrest is very big. I like that it's completely flat. That's going to work well. You've got a little bit of contrast stitching right there that you can see. And then that upper door bin area, a little bit smaller. The lower is going to be a little bit bigger. You can also see you have the Bose premium audio that's going to be here. And when it comes to our door sill, right down here, you're going to see that High Country logo is going to be there. Now, let's talk about these seats. There's a couple of controls on the side. The one in the front is what allows the passengers to actually move these seats back and forth. So you can see how much further up this seat goes now that I've moved it right there, just like that. So you can move that forward or back. The one that has ×2 on it, so we're going to do 1 and then 2. That allows us to get into the third row, which actually has a ton of space. A lot of 3-row SUVs don't have this much space back here. If the seat was all the way back, I'd still have a lot of leg space. Decent amount of head space. Now I'm 5'10". Somebody who's 6 feet tall could still sit back here if they wanted to. Might be better off in the second row, but it is possible. And something that I really like are the roof-mounted air conditioning vents. That's going to allow for keeping your passengers nice and comfortable depending on the temperature. We're also going to have our cup holder right here, a little bit of space behind that, and the USB port. It's going to be the same way on both sides. Now, what happens if the passengers in the middle row forget about the third row passengers and they don't want to go out through the pass-through right here? Now, there's 2 ways you can deal with this. There's a button right down here that you can use. You can hit that button twice and that will get the seat up and out of the way, just like this. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to hit that one more time, then that gets up out of the way. In the event that the battery has died in the vehicle, no big deal. That's what this release is for. Pull on that once, pull on it again, and we're going to accomplish the exact same thing. The one thing I do wish was different here is the length of these armrests. Notice that my arm fits on there decently, but here forward obviously does not. I'd like to have that. And I think the cure for that would be to make these as tall as the seat back right here to this area, and then that would cure that problem. But they do work, not a big deal. That's just my experience. Some of you may not be a problem. Once again, those air conditioner vents nice and close to the passengers. I like that. And then we'll come down here and see our rear seat pockets, plenty of space for additional storage, and the cup holders right here, they can actually be brought closer to your passengers. I'll show you how to do that shortly. And then the command center for your third zone of climate control. Fan speed, temperature, can adjust a few different things here. We have our heated seats if we want to turn those on. Definitely don't want to do that today. And then a couple of USB ports will be here in addition to another power outlet. The sticker price here at Chevy Land in Shreveport, Louisiana is $89,580. I'll give you that last $80 if you need it. I've got that. I don't know about the rest, but I've got that. Let's see what else you get for the sticker price. We'll start here with our upper console. Actually, quite a bit to talk about up here. Here's how you control the power shade for the sunroof, and then you can open and close the front portion with these two controls. And here's what I was telling you about earlier. I'm going to hit this button. We're going to come down to the center console right here, and this is how you bring the drinks to your lazy middle row passengers. That's not all you can do here. That does bring that back to them if you want. We also have the extra space right here and also the hidden drawer. So that's going to be nice. And then we can bring that back up if we need to with the button right there. That's very convenient. Now, something else up here that's very important. In the event that your power tailgate is not opening, come right here to this dial. Make sure it is not set to off. Make sure it's either set to 3/4 or to max, and you don't have to worry about that. Obviously, you've got your lights right here. And if you want to have all of your interior lights come on, just hold that down just like that. Notice how that comes on. Everything else comes on. Just a nice little trick that you may or may not know about. Now we'll work our way down. We're going to have the nice trim that we're going to have throughout the interior, working its way across the dash area. Then we're going to have our glove box down there, quite a bit of space within, and the High Country logo right above that, as you can see. Working our way over to the driver's or passenger side door panel, I should say. Nice large armrest, and once again, those large storage areas with what we have at that upper and lower area. Now we're going to work our way over here to the driver's side. This is something we should have at this price point on the passenger side as well, which is seat memory. Not here, but that's just the way it is. Here's the button I pushed to fold the side view mirrors in earlier. Told you about that. And then we can lock the windows with this button and control which side view mirror we're using or adjusting right here. And there are your controls. One touch down, one touch up for your front windows only. But as far as your rear windows go, one touch down, you have to hold that button to bring that back up. Here's your power parking brake. You can have some of your safety features here, things like your park assist is going to be here. You can turn off that auto stop start. Boy, I can't wait to not see that in vehicles anymore. I know some of you like it. Everybody has their preferences. And then over here, we've got our drive mode selector. First of all, you can choose if you're in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. You set that on auto. And your drive mode selector, let's go through those different driving modes. So you're going to start with normal. We go to sport, off-road, and then tow haul mode. And we work our way back over here. Everything for your exterior lighting is right here. You can turn your fog lights on and off with that. Just leave that on auto and you're good to go. Everything for controlling your trailer brakes will be here. And then here is the control for adjusting your steering wheel. It's power adjustable, tilt and telescopically adjustable. Shift your paddles on the back for working your way back and forth through that 10-speed automatic transmission. And then we also have, let's see if I can get back here and show you, control for adjusting what you're listening to. And over on the other side, you can adjust the volume without taking your hands off the steering wheel. And then we've got all of our controls right here, everything for adaptive cruise control on the left-hand side, and then voice commands. You can also go through your different types of whatever music you want to listen to, whether it's the radio or whatever it is. Your heated steering wheel is here, and this button right here allows you to adjust what you actually see on the driver's display. We're going to get rid of that low fuel indicator, and then we can go to our navigation. Now, this isn't the only thing you can adjust right here. I'm going to show you what else you can do right now as we look at the center screen. We go to vehicle status right here. So here's what's going to happen when that comes up. If you go to gauges, if you want to have, say, your transmission fluid temperature on the driver's display, we come right here, select add to driver's display, and we're going to do that right there, and it will come up. You can also remove it just that easily, and you can do that with everything that you see here ultimately in this area. It just depends on what your preferences are with your gauges. We're going to go home right there. You've got all of your different camera views. You've got the overhead and the side. You're going to have two different views with these different cameras. We've got overhead right there. Depending on what you need to do, you can do that. We can go to standard, and we have our front and rear view cameras as well. And then you've got your settings if you need to go to that. We'll come back out of that. What's nice is when you hit your turn signals, you can actually go ahead and see what's in your blind spot with the cameras. That's very easy to do. By the way, coming back to the steering wheel real quick, here is your shifter on the right hand side, and on the left hand side over here, your turn signal indicator control, so you can use your blinkers and let people around you know what you're doing before you do it. And then we also have the front and rear wiper controls. We'll come back out of there, and we're going to go right here real quick just to show you a few highlights here. Everything for trailering is going to be here. Not going to spend a lot of time on that. On your settings, there is a lot here, but it's not complicated to find what you need. You can pretty much see that. We'll go into vehicle right here and take a look at a couple of different things. You've got teen driver mode, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive. Here's how you use your turn signal activated view. Now you can come in here and make sure this is on. You don't have to. You can just come right here. As long as it's going to have that green check mark, you're good to go. You know it's going to work. Of course, you also have to use your turn signals to do that too. Speed assist, you've got comfort and convenience right here. We've got our chime volume, reverse tilt mirrors. You can turn all these things on and off. You also have your remote mirror folding, and what that does, when that's checked to green like this, when you lock the vehicle, the mirrors fold in. When you unlock it, they unfold. Now, I'm going to come right back here because I wanted to go over our safety features, your alert type, forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, reverse automatic braking, park assist, rear cross traffic braking, and rear pedestrian alert. All of that's going to be here. A lot going on, that's for sure, but don't let that scare you off. That doesn't mean it's complicated. Now, you can actually come right here to climate, and you can control everything for the front or the rear climate control. Thankfully, that's not all that's here. So it's not just in the screen. There are physical controls available, which is always nice to have. And just to show you a couple more things here that are very important. Number one, your recordings. You need to come in here and take a look at what you have so you have the right equipment to do this. It's going to tell you what you need, but you just plug in your thumb drive and it will record from every camera when you have the vehicle running. That's nice to have. Now, controls also very important. This is where you turn on your child safety locks. And even though I didn't show it to you, you do have a head-up display. It's nice and bright. You can see some of the other settings you have here. We also have see more controls, and you can see what's going on there. Now, your universal remotes, instead of having the home link that we used to have with just 3 buttons, take a look at this. Look at all of the different the different remotes you can program, up to 8. I don't think I need 8, but I have 2 garage doors at my house, but that's about all I have. Now, you can see what you have here as far as your heated and ventilated seats go. We've got our heated seats, don't need that on today. Ventilated seats, we do need on today, and that's where you're going to control that. You also have everything down here for your air conditioning, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You can also use Google Assistant to adjust the air. Pretty convenient. Here is your wireless charging pad. That should work really well. We're also going to have our USB ports. Not sure I'm crazy about the gloss black right here. Don't touch that too much unless you have a microfiber cloth nearby and you can get the fingerprints off. But you have the trim around your cup holders, going to make it look nice. And then the center console, back to that one more time. This is actually an armrest. In fact, it's a multitasker because you can also use that to store a ton of whatever items you need to put in there, whatever will fit. So overall, the interior, very well done. For those who want to hear it, here's a sampling of the Bose premium audio system. And there you go. Hope that sounds as good for you as it does for us. All right, here we go on our test drive with the Tahoe. To say there's no shortage of power to get down the road, no problem, well, that's definitely the truth. You've got plenty of horsepower, plenty of torque, but also a very comfortable ride quality. The seats themselves are comfortable and a lot of space within all 3 rows. The 3rd row being the least, but it's not really lacking the way a lot of 3-row SUVs are. Something that's a big advantage of a full-size SUV like this. Now, one thing I didn't talk about earlier would be the digital rear view mirror. You can make adjustments with the controls on the right-hand side right here. If you want to brightness, you can dim that, you can brighten it up. You can change the height from which the camera is viewing. You can also zoom in and zoom out a little bit, no big deal. Now, I'm going to turn my blinker on, you can see what's going on with the screen right there as far as that turn signal activated view goes. And then it's going to come right back to the previous screen, which some of you may have noticed. We've got the camera up. It stays up with this generation of technology when you're driving, if you need to do that. And some of you have asked me about that in the past, so I like to show that just so you can see it. And the technology here is easy to learn and use. That's always a good thing. Plenty of adjustability here with the driver's seat between the steering wheel, which is tilt and telescopically adjustable, and the driver's seat itself. You're going to have lumbar support with your power adjustable seats. Driver and passenger will both have that, so that's going to have its advantages. And it's obviously very easy to see out of, but you got all those great driving aids. You also have the rear view camera mirror, blind spot monitoring built into your side view mirrors. So quite a bit going on here where all of this is concerned. That works out really well. A very well balanced vehicle. Brake pedal and the gas pedal are easy to manage and easy to adjust to. That's always a good thing. So the thing I'm always curious about is what people think should be here that maybe isn't. I know there's always something, someone's going to say, gee, I wish it had whatever the feature is. But overall, I'd say it's a very well done Tahoe. A lot of great features, a lot of great functionality, plenty of room. It's a very good vehicle for the right family situation or whatever your situation may be. And there it is, the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe High Country. Is it going to meet all of your needs? You'll have to tell me down in the comments section. Is there something missing, maybe that you feel should be here that isn't? I'm always curious to know. I would like to say a special thanks to our friends at Chevy Land for loaning us this Tahoe for the day so we can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's helpful and greatly appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.